Good morning, top of the morning. We are back again. I'm here live again on the morning show. Let's talk, man. We have a lot going on in the world of sports. Something I wanted to, talk about today. We have a couple topics. They're not really going to be professional sports related. We're going to kind of talk about some of the issues and some of the things that go on in regular sports, high school sports, youth sports as well. So one of the topics that we're going to talk about is parent participation, and then we're going to get into a topic of school selection. I think those are two of the heavy topics right now. We're kind of winding down coming to the end of the school year. So a lot of things need to be thought about and decisions need to be made. So, first of all, I want to say congratulations to Coach Preston Brown. He's a new wide receiver coach over at Dell State. Congratulations, Coach. All your hard work has not been in vain. People notice what you're doing. This is a great look for South Jersey area as we continue to build a pipeline with different coaches and just creating more opportunities for players to be seen. So, congratulations, Coach Preston Brown, formerly head coach of Woodrow Wilson High School. I wanted to make sure we got that out. Please hit the like button. Please share this out to everybody out there. Let people know what we doing in the morning. Maybe they're at work. They want to pop in the earbuds and they want to get through the day and have a conversation and just listen to certain things, and maybe they'll tap back in a little bit later and post their comments. I'm starting to see a lot of that. People coming in after the show has been completed and commenting on the show. So go ahead, share it out, man. Good morning. Good morning to everybody out there. Today is Thursday. Today is Thursday. And why did that come in that color? Hold on. I don't know what's going on, guys. I got to make a little bit of an edit. I don't know why that's coming in so dark. So, where are we? Hold on one second. I just want to make sure that we get to see the color of the comments. Let me try this. Let me make one adjustment real quick. And I'm going to save it. All right, let's see if this works. There we go. There we go. Top of the morning to all. Good morning. Good morning. I wasn't able to see it before, so I had to make sure that I got it in. Checking in from YouTube. Once again, we are live on YouTube, Facebook, and X. I'm going to start saying X instead of Twitter, but you guys know what it is. We are live on YouTube, X, and Facebook. All right. Thank you guys for tuning in, jumping back in this morning. Man, it's Thursday. It is absolutely beautiful outside. I got my daughter on a bus. Got her off to school. And that was a good thing. And there was some things that happened this morning. My wife went to the parent meeting in the morning. And that was one. That was how can I do this? What am I doing? What is going on? I'm sorry, guys. I'm trying to make a change here. Okay. That was one of the things that got me to thinking about this topic that I'm going to bring up. And we'll figure out which one we're going to get talking about first. The first topic, we'll get into this, man. And here's a question. The first question / topic is your selection of high school or college. And we could talk about both, right? And this goes back to the topic this morning, or what happened this morning. My wife went over to the morning conference, talked to the teacher. The teacher gave her some ideas or suggestions or things that we should or shouldn't do, or things that we should think about moving forward with my daughter. As some of you may or may not know, my daughter was a preemie, so she was a early preemie, so her birthday was in September, and we put her in school, as soon as she was able to go to school. But we knew there were some things that were going to be a little slower for her as far as developmental. Not saying she has any issues, but we understood that she would be in class with people who are a lot older than her. And what I mean older, I don't mean by age, I mean by development, right? So she was supposed to be born in December and she was born in September. So we know there are going to be some challenges. So that got me to thinking this morning, how important is it for you to select the proper school, the right school for your kid to go to, whether it be for sports, academics, or anything like that? How important is that? we'll take it from the sports aspect, and we can, incorporate the academic side of it as well. But, we often see kids selecting schools or going to schools for, the sports side of things. So, should kids have that option? Should you be able to send your kid wherever you want them to go um, to kind of enhance their opportunity, or whatever you may see is the goal for you and your family and your child, right? Or should you just, kind of stay at home and kind of build, at your home public school, or whatever? So I know that's been a topic of conversation. I'm seeing a lot of kids getting scholarship offers, and a lot of times they select the biggest school. It may not be the right fit for them, but it's the biggest school. Some kids will go D1 when they really should go Division 2, and they probably have a way better experience than what they are going to have at the Division 1 level. So those two we can kind of merge together, and we could kind of have a topic of a conversation about that. So what is your guys' opinion on that? How do you guys feel about, parents and kids selecting to go to different schools, whether it be a choice school, whether it may be a private Catholic school, or even sending them out of state to, a different school? How do you guys feel about that? What is your thoughts? What is your opinion on that? I gotta get this. I gotta get it going down here, man. My basement where I work, it get cold down here, man. My basement gets extremely, extremely cold. Um, what's going on, Sharon? What's going on? I can't like that. Can I like? Ooh, cancel. Sorry about that. I hit the wrong one. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, Hector. Good morning. The Birdcage in. Coach Bird getting ready for the baseball season. I might pop out today. Should the athlete have to sit for transferring schools? I mean, that's a topic of conversation. I mean, if we're keeping it in the context of what school is, and school is supposed to be for academic advantages, they don't look at the basketball, football, or baseball, or whatever sport you're playing. They don't look at that as being the reason that you're transferring. Then they're going to have kids sit. They definitely are going to have kids sit for a limited amount of time, or whatever, maybe 30 days, 4 games, or whichever one falls first. So, big signing in Salem. Yes, huge signing in Salem. We'll kind of get to I'll get to that. The return of a coach. I'll say that the return of a coach. Yeah, um so what did you guys? I'm gonna try to direct this and steer it in the direction so we can kind of break these things down. What are your thoughts on the selection of high school? Do you feel like people should have that chance or opportunity to do it for themselves, figure out where they want their kids to go to really help their um opportunities? Because we all know some high schools you go to, you're going to have more opportunities at certain sports than others, especially if you're a borderline kid. I strongly believe some kids are just elite athletes. It doesn't matter where they go to school, they're going to get some of the same opportunities. I think some kids need help from that school, um, coaching staff, program, the longevity, all of that stuff matters to elevating to the next level. So that's a question that I do have. Should you send your kid to whatever school you want to? Should send your kid. So we got one coming in from Sharon. He says, trying to like it. Oh, I'm on the wrong side of things. Man, this is kind of crazy, but it looked kind of cool. I kind of figured out how to do this, so we're gonna rock with it for a little bit. Should send your child wherever it's best for them. I agree. I agree. I agree. Some people get kind of crucified for doing that. I was one of the guys that got crucified for it. Growing up, I grew up in Camden, and I moved out of the city, and I put my son on the local football team. But once it was time for him to go to high school, me and his mother are separated. It benefited him to go where his mother was, so he would be able to, max out on that school's, um, what that school had to offer as far as the athletic side of things. The district that I live in at the time, they had, I believe, three different coaches. So it's kind of one of those things that I didn't want to send my kid to a school that wasn't stable in their coaching staff. And I strongly believe that coaching staffs, administration, and all that stuff play a major part in the success of your kid. And things going on. Some coaches, things may fall by the wayside. I think kids should be able to make their own decision, especially if they're not getting playing time, etc. Now, all right, so that's one of the things. We got a comment coming in for Facebook. I mean, from YouTube. That's one of the things I'm like, I'm kind of borderline with, but I understand, and that's, to me, that's where sitting out, you know, 4 games, 30 days, however you want to put it. That's where something should be put in place. Like, if you're transferring because you can't, make the team or whatever, or you can't, get significant playing time or enough playing time. I kind of feel like, the beginning of your high school or college, whatever you decide, I think it's really important to make that the right decision to go to, a certain school, because that's going to set you up for years down the line. We often see, some kids bouncing around from school to school to school, 3 to 4 schools in 4 years. How is that benefiting that kid? The stability of it, um, you got you got to kind of fight a little bit at the end of the year. Okay, I understand it. But making that decision, understanding, hey, we're going to a powerhouse school or we're going to this school. You have to be able to evaluate your child's skill level. And those are some of the things that are the tough questions. And it's kind of hard being able to make that decision as a parent. A realistic evaluation of your kid's skill level, where they may land. But yeah, so I mean, even in that, they should be able to decide where they want to go to school. You know what I'm saying? Even with the playing time, if you feel like you're not getting enough, I always say just wait it out. Finish the year out, finish what you start. That's what I preach to my kids. My daughter last year, I put her in middle school track, right? So just to pique her interest, to see if it's something that she would kind of take to, right? I didn't want to automatically put her on a quote unquote travel, track team. So I put her on a middle school team. They do things a little different. She was in the top 4 for 6th graders in running. I think it was a 400, but the way they select all the grades and then they put them in a certain thing, and then she wind up getting placed on the high jump, right? My daughter is not tall. She doesn't have a vertical leap. She's not, extremely athletic. And I knew it was going to be something that sucked, but I told her, man, once we sign up for something, we finish it out. Now, at the end of the year, if you decide you don't want to go back, then it is what it is. But we could fight to come back the following year to kind of make that team for the 400, if that's going to be something that you want to do. But we're not having that discussion in season. We not quitting. We not quitting. We can't do that. That's just something that, I don't agree with as a parent. Combo of things. A child should be able to go where he or she comfortable. Exactly. I agree. Where the teacher staff do their job, actually care for the kids. I agree 100% with that. Also have the program that has the kids able to. So, and that's one of the keys, right? I had a conversation with one of my friends, and he was I only, bring this out if they want to put their name behind it, but he knew his kid, right? He knew if his kid went to public school X, that his kid wouldn't have the success that he ultimately had because of the focus, the mindset, right? So this is where I believe that you should be able to pick whatever school that you want to send your kid to. If you know your kid and you know certain environments would not help or benefit your kid, and your kid would have a hard time in that, you should be able to send your kid to any school that you want to send your kid to because you understand your child 100%. Put them in an environment where you know they're going to have a success rate, a higher success rate. Coaching 3 different sports, I see this across the board. Parents should definitely do what's best for their kid. Wow, that's a big comment, Coach Bird. Is especially coming from a high school coach, right? That coaches multiple sports and coaches those at a high level, right? So he sees it and he understands it. And this kind of gets me back. So, some of this is kind of tied into some other stuff. It's college, it's high school, it ties into my daughter, her next step, all of those things, right? So we having that conversation and you look at it and it's kind of like, if we just take a pivot and look at what Nick Saban is doing, going to Congress and talking about how NIL hurts because now kids are not there and they're not 100% loyal to the school or the program. Like this is what you get when you allow people to have their options. But I truly believe that those kids should have their options. Not everybody gets an NIL deal. Let's keep it all the way 100. They have collectives, which is totally different than NILs. But we're not going to get into all of that right now. But yeah, that is a huge topic right now, and that's a big topic of discussion is, you know, picking the right school for your kid, the importance of that. And parents should take their time and make sure that they vet, all the programs in the different schools to make sure that it's somewhere where their kid, can ultimately succeed in. That's the biggest thing. We want to put the kids in environments where they can, grow and benefit from. Um, in high school and in college. One of the hardest discussions I had to have was with my son about Division 1 and Division 2, and it was during the time of COVID. So the Division 1 schools were kind of hesitant. They were kind of texting us, telling us to be patient. They're waiting to see if a certain guy is going to hit the portal, or if they're going to sign a guy out of the portal, if they're going to wait for guys who are on their team to see if they were going to come back for that 5th year or 6th year option that they had, all of that stuff. So I had to keep it real with them and just tell them, like, listen, man, we taking a guarantee. Like, all these other schools, they're talking about wait, be patient, all that stuff. We don't know if they're going to come back and offer in this climate right now. So we got to do what's best for you. You know what I'm saying? I know you want to go Division 1, but hey, these other schools offering Division 1 money. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're offering Division 1 money, and his eyes really open once we, were able to talk to some other people who were playing Division 1. And when he went to the school that he selected, we're talking about, 2 quarterbacks that played at the Division 1 level, one at Northern Illinois, the other at the University of UConn. We're talking about running backs who transferred down from Sacred Heart, tight ends that came from, Wagner, and they had guys from different levels. So, making sure my son understood we're going to put you in the right position. We're not doing this because we don't think you're not ready for this or you're not at this level. It's just making sure that we have the proper information and we put them in a right position. So yeah, yep. Sports wise, just make sure the stuff coaches, staff coaches only. Those are coaches, teachers. So yeah, so that's one of those things, man, that we definitely talked about. Y'all see I'm getting better, right? Y'all see the comments sliding in. I'm working, I'm getting better, man. I'm down here training myself, going through it, but I just want to make the best experience if you're watching, and also I want to make sure that the clarity is there if you're listening, through your headphones. But yeah, we got a bunch of comments. Keep them coming. NIL changed the game. and now it's more opportunities other than certain schools. That's for sure. Um, transitioning into my second question, and we kind of talking about different topics because and different things because not a lot happened in sports. Wasn't a lot of free agent signing. Nothing crazy happened in high school basketball or football or whatever, but we do have some major things developing in the high school sports, which I'll kind of touch on a little bit. Some coaches, I believe, got approved. So now they're taking over different programs and different things like that. But this is one of the questions. And like I said, I'm sipping coffee. My daughter's now, getting in kind of gymnastics. She wants me to come and watch her. She wants me to take her to gymnastics. So it's one of those things I was thinking about. And it's like, should parents be involved with their sports teams? Right? Should parents be involved with the sports team? And when I was thinking about this, um, it was coming from a place of availability, right? I started thinking like, man, if I have certain things to do, I probably wouldn't be available. And I'm thinking about this from me. Now I start thinking about the working class, the dads who you may get off at 6 o'clock and then have an hour drive, or the moms who have multiple kids, where that one kid is not the only kid that is involved in sports. So how do you manage that? Like as a parent, should parents and as a coach or administrator of a program, we always are looking for help, right? And then we say, oh, the parents just drop the kids off. They not there. They don't watch and they don't help and all of that good stuff. But should the parents really be involved with the sports? I mean, if you take a parent that has hypothetically two different kids, let's say they're involved in two different things within the same year, how do you get involved? If you got to drop one off and then go drop the other one off and then pick one up and pick the other up, and then you still got to dinner at night, you still have the work and all of this stuff, help kids with homework. Like, how do you balance that? And should we look at them and look at the as from a coaches and administrators and all of that stuff? Like, should we look at them and say, you know, you should be here with your kids? So let's just talk about that part of it, the balance of it, man. Where do you go? I never really thought about it, to be honest. I never really thought about it. And I'm being honest. I never thought about it because, my thing was to get up, especially when I was actively coaching hard before, the injury I had and all that other stuff. But it was like, wake up 6 in the morning, you know. No, I'm lying. I'm lying. I apologize. I will wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning, 5:30, get dressed, go to work, be to work, punch in at 6 o'clock. I would go from 6 to 2, get off at 2 o'clock, go home, uh, get a shower, grab something to eat. By that time, my son is walking in the door. Um, then I would grab him, start a portion of his homework, uh, and then we would, in my case, I would, get in the car by 4 o'clock. You know, take the trip around, picking kids up so they could get to practice, go to practice from 6 to 8 o'clock, get back in the car, drop those kids off. Sometime I wouldn't get home until 9:30, almost 10 o'clock. Then I got to get my son in there. Yo, go get a shower. Let's finish up your homework and eat. And all of that stuff was involved. The next thing you know, boom, the alarm clock is going off. So I was always kind of in a routine for years. That was my routine for years. Work, practice, dropping kids off, picking kids up, all of that stuff. So how do you how do you balance that, and how do you expect some parents who may have multiple kids to be involved with the program? So that's a question. I'm putting it out there for you guys. You guys, let me know what you feel, and I want to hear your opinion too. We all have different opinions. Um, oh man, up here we are slowly going away from the days of sending your kids to somebody for scholarships, different programs. Two others are slowly building up their programs to compete with the other coaches. Okay, okay. Salute, salute. Yeah, keep the comments coming. But yeah, that's one of those things that I was thinking about today, man. If I had, multiple kids, playing different sports, um, how can I be involved? Or should programs start building programs based on who's available to help and build it out from there? That was one of those things I was thinking about this morning as well. Um, yeah, let me know what you guys think. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about it. So moving on, I had something else I wanted to discuss too. Um Trying to get to it. Sorry guys. Sorry. Got a text coming in too. Um yeah, but big news down in Salem. Coach Kemp Carr is now the new head coach, right? He's going back to coach down at Salem. That is huge for Salem. He knows that area fairly well. Um, that Salem, Penns Grove, Southern Jersey area. That's a big hire for Salem as they look to get back on, the championship track that they were the last couple of years. So that's a big move in high school sports. It was something else. Somebody else got hired, I believe, at Woodstown. I'm trying to see if it's official. I haven't nothing came out as the official word um down in Salem. Um talk Club teams are all about money. Ah, so that's a question. Let's get into that a little bit too. Um as we, I'll just get into it real quick. It's a catch 22. It's a little bit of give and take. We all know the expenses of everything is high, right? I'm in the process of doing a couple of all-star games, and the prices of everything is just the gyms. They want you to have security, police officers. Oh man, it's just on and on. So I can understand, I see some teams being charged. When I was coaching, it was like 250 and you was good. But now it's like $600, for certain tournaments, right? So I guess you got to pay. I mean, but what's the happy medium? What's too much and what's average now? I don't know. You know what I mean? Like they do charge, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how much, man. I remember my son got selected to be a part of the select travel team, and that was my first year doing travel baseball, man. We was 3,000 in, man. We had to pay 1,500 up front. And we had a week to pay the 1,500. They gave you a week to pay $1,500. Then you had to pay the other back end of the $1,500 by a certain date. But I will say they gave them, they tailored their pants to them. They had the jerseys, the number printed on the back. I mean, the name. They had the travel bags. They had the travel helmet. I think I still have it around here somewhere. they did a lot, but $3 grand for travel baseball, man. Uh, listen, listen, man. Baseball is a very expensive sport right now, especially out here in the suburbs. Like it's just a little different. Some of these teams charge a lot of money, man. Way too much money for me. Not even going lie. Ah, man. Yeah, so Salem definitely has some really good talent returning. Um, some people felt like they didn't reach their potential. Trying to get this in here. Potential last year. New coach coming back in from Florida. So it was one of those things, man. Do you think high school basketball and football do you have a footing into baseball? I know our area has some major talent. Um, so yeah, so if you kind of go to D2 Sports Network, you'll start seeing that, right? We have our footing in football, basketball, and baseball. Last year in baseball, we did a all-star game in baseball. And we really tried to showcase those players. So, yes, we do have a major support system with baseball, and this year we will be having um, our baseball all star game. This year we'll get once I get done setting this basketball game up. Next week we're actually going to book the facility to have our baseball all star game. So I'll be starting to contact some of the guys who helped out last year, some of the guys who wanted to help out. I'll start contacting them as far as baseball goes. We'll start implementing. Um, we'll get the date, the time, and kind of be ahead of the curve. Um, this year. You know what I'm saying? We'll try to get ahead of the curve with that at your expense. Okay. Um so Larry says baseball 10K a year, not counting training. You know what? And you know what, Larry, you make you make a good point, man. I didn't even realize it, right? So we paid the $3 grand, and that was for like the local tournament, right? But then they wanted to travel, and at the time we were more into football, so my son missed like 2 weekends where they were going to travel, where we were either in Ohio doing a football camp or we were somewhere else doing a football camp or something like that. But thinking about it, yeah, it probably would have been an extra, probably 2 to 6 grand. To be honest with you, between 2 to 6 grand that we would have had to pay for him to be in those tournaments like that. You're absolutely right. Baseball is a very expensive sport, man. All of that stuff. But let's see if I could bring this up. I'm gonna try to show you guys. But yeah, we do go back to answer Andre's question real quick. Yes, we are involved in baseball. We like I said, last year we had a baseball all-star game with some of the top players from the area. Also follow us or lock in with d2sportsnetwork.com. You will see Chris Baker's. He has a segment where it's Baker's Dozen, where he ranks the top 13 teams in South Jersey area. And we are going to he probably will have a layout of who you should be keeping an eye on as far as the upcoming season. So yeah, we have a footing in baseball, and that's the importance of teamwork and bringing in a team where everybody kind of can work together. I have my specialties. Chris has his, and Kevin has his. So I'm more tapped in with the football community. Kevin's more tapped in with the basketball community, and Chris is more tapped in with the baseball community. So we try to let everybody work. What's up? My boy, this Taj. What's going on? Um, I gotta send you my I think I gotta send you my phone number. I just saw that message come up. But all right, what's going on? Hmm, here we go. I was paying a couple thousands for youth cheerleading and at least 1,000 for middle school baseball in the 2000s. Man, between that and coaching youth football 6 years ago, I can't believe how prices he's double. I can't believe it either. I'm gonna tell you, like I said, I'm getting ready for this basketball all-star game. I'm putting things together. I'm going by expenses. I'm scratching my head and I'm trying to wonder. I'm like, where are all these expenses going? Like, how are we going to cover all of this? Like, I can't have my lights going off. You know what I'm saying? I need to pay my phone bill. I need to it's other things that we have to do and I got to get back on focus with and I got to start taking care of. So we had to have a real conversation and talk about it. Like, listen, man, we want to do this all-star game. How can we, offset this budget? How can we do certain things? And the rental of the facility, that's one in itself, right? People always talk about the rental of the facility, how much it costs to rent, a football field or a basketball gym or a baseball field, and we're talking about multiple games. So pretty much I'm renting out a whole school for the whole day, right? What does that cost to me? How much does that cost? Think about it. How much does that cost? How much do you expect that to cost? 300 an hour, 400 an hour? All right, you throw that in. And then I have to do insurance. I got to pay for the insurance to cover all the players. Then I have to, try to get a medical staff there. Somebody, who's a trainer that can help kids if they roll their ankles or they get hurt. I got to pay for that. Then we have to have people that help me throughout the process. Not everybody's going to volunteer and do everything for free. So some people you got to pay on. We get the DJ. What's it cost to get a DJ for the whole day? Got to pay for that. Or are we just going to play music, have DJ just for the last two games of the day? How are we going to do all of this stuff? And when you start putting all this stuff together, you start adding these expenses up. It's crazy out here, man. I mean, eggs. Let's just, we just look at it how simple it is. Eggs are super expensive right now. Food is super expensive. Anytime you pull up to the drive-through at one of these fast food restaurants, expect to spend $15. You know what I mean? It was a report on the news where they were talking about Five Guys. Man, bruh, I went to Five Guys, man. I didn't. It hit me. You know what I'm saying? It hit me like boop. This is how Five Guys get you. Let's keep it 100. This is how Five Guys get you. This is how they get you, right? You go in. They got the word, I think it's the word little next to the stuff, right? They got the little fries, they got the little burgers and all that stuff. Listen, I'm a man. I want that double. Give me that double now. Give me the double. Give me the, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to eat. I'm a man. So you order the man-sized portion of everything. You order this stuff, and then when they tell you it's $26 for a burger and fry and a soda, in your head, you like, God, you like, I can't believe it, right? You're trying to like figure it all out. What are we doing? How is it? How did it get to this much money? And then when you sit down, you get your stuff, you eating those little peanuts, and you asking yourself, why did I not? What? All of these. And you asking yourself, why did I spend this much money on a cheeseburger and fry? I could have got groceries for this expense. But you guys are absolutely right. The expenses are crazy how much some of this stuff is, man. But at the end of the day, you look at guys like Mike Trout, you look at other guys, baseball wise, who go on and get these big contracts. So you see it at the back end, but you got to understand, man, these people are really investing in their kids. And baseball, back in the 80s, the 90s, the early no, I'll say the early 2000s is early 2000s where everybody was one time a year person or player, right? You look at it now, they have fall baseball that started in like, I say '01, '02 or something like that, right? Where they started to do fall baseball. And it's like, it's baseball's a year-round sport. Everything is year-round. Baseball, football, all of this stuff is year-round. So the expenses just keep going higher and higher and higher. I'm watching these travel teams. I'm watching, all the different teams. It just, it starts to be enough. To the point where you're like, all right, we sitting a year out, bro. I gotta recoup. You know what I mean? You got people working doubles, overtime, second jobs just to pay for, some of the sports things that go on. But it's a cost. Like, it's a cost. It's a cost to everything that you do. You know what I mean? It's a cost, man. Listen. I got this whole extravagant idea for our basketball all-star game, but I got to start asking myself, do we really need the balloons? The balloons, do we really need it? Okay, do we really need this? Do we need that? And I'm trying to do the best that I can and try to figure out what a value is for what we're trying to do, the exposure that we're trying to give kids and how we're trying to push it. You know what I mean? Like, I have to evaluate that. But yeah, prices are ridiculous right now, man. I mean, sheesh. I remember a time where you could get your car washed for $5. $5 would get your car washed, detail, wiped down. I'm talking about Armor All. You know what I mean? If you had the white walls, the old school caddy. I remember I used to take my grandma old school caddy to get washed when I was back at school. Them white walls, you get that thing glistening with the Armor All. You know what I mean? What was the other? The turtle. They used to have a turtle wax. They be out there waxing your car, sweating bullets for $5. Right now, you can't buy your car wash for $5 car wash. What? Come on. Let's you know what I mean? Let's keep it 100. Let's keep it 100. Listen, Larry says the balloons. Larry, listen, you got to have the balloons. Listen, it's an all-star game. Everybody wants, the parents, they want to, you got to make it feel like it's special, right? They walking in, the kids walk through the little balloon joint. You got the pictures popping, you want to make it look good for them. But yeah, the expenses are wild right now. Expenses are wild, bro. Sheesh. We used to, listen, I'm talking about the $5 car wash. I can't even buy a rag for $5. Yo, so, growing up in Camden, right? I lived on Kane and Mount that was the last place that I lived, Kane and Mount Ephraim. I lived all over Camden Parkside. I lived on Princess Avenue. I lived on Kenwood Avenue. I lived on Barrett Boulevard. We used to move a lot. You know what I'm saying? We used to move a lot. I never understood why we were moving a lot until I got older. You know what I'm saying? And I understand now. You know what I mean? Rents do. We got to move. We got to move. We got to fly somewhere else. Listen, hey, mom did the best that she could do, but I remember when I was living on Kane and Mount Ephraim Avenue, we lived about 4 or 5 doors down from the Chinese store. We had the dollar, bro. You could get wings. You would get wings and you would get fries, right? $1 wings, and you probably pay like $2. I mean, $1 fry. Smother that joint with ketchup. You eat more ketchup than fries. Put a little salt and pepper on that too. You know what I'm saying? You got the wings in the bag, the 2-3 wings in the bag. The bag is it got all the grease that they done fried these wings in. You know what I'm saying? You get all that for like $3 and a soda. What? Come on, bro. You get the canned Pepsi. You know what I mean? You get that. You eat that. You feeling good. You feeling great. You know what I'm saying? Now, all that stuff I can't eat right now. It give me heartburn in the chest. Now, how was I eating that? But we all probably was eating all that crazy food. Kennedy Fried Chicken and, you know what I mean? All these different places. But you could get, like, you was able to be full for the whole day for like $5. $5. Listen, you go get wings and fries right now with the drink. You know what I'm saying? With the Pepsi or, bro, I was in Camden the other day. Excuse me. I was in Camden the other day. And I wanted the lemonade. Y'all know the lemonade, right? The clear joint, you know. You get the lemonade, the clear lemonade, or the iced tea. That joint be first grade. That joint be first grade, tasting good on 1,000. Extra sugar in that joint. You know what I'm saying? It's a wonder why we all having problems and we all diabetic and all this other stuff. Like, come on, right? Bro, like, come on, man. I'm not paying that. I'm not paying this like prices are ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? Prices are ridiculous right now. And y'all know what I'm talking about, man. Y'all let me know if I'm saying anything wrong or crazy. I promise you I'm not, but I get it. Sports are expensive, and then, like I said, if you doing travel football or travel baseball, you can't just give them the bare minimum, right? The parents will come to Facebook, they'll come to Twitter, they'll be on Discord, all these different places, kicking your back in. I mean, full foot in your back, kicking your back in. My son jersey don't got a name on the back. He don't have a bag, I gotta pay for him to stay in the air. They don't get their own beds and Airbnb. Like, so I get it. The prices are expensive. They're over the top, but you cannot, if you're in that position as far as a travel team, anything like that, you can't do bare minimum. You can't do because the guy across the street is giving his kids, they getting bags. You know what I'm saying? They getting hoodies, they getting whole sweatsuits when they travel. They getting all this stuff. Like, you know what I'm saying? So you got to make it look good. You know what I mean? I'm doing this all-star game. Yeah, listen, the balloon tower, I had to think twice about. You know what I'm saying? I had to think twice about. It is what it is. What'd he say? The birdcage, 4 wings and fry platter. I mean, $250. That's what I'm saying. Listen, fishing. When I was in high school, fish and produce on Hatton Avenue. We would walk there. We would get, you know what I'm saying, get our food. We would walk back to school. You full, you good for the whole day. You know what I mean? You don't have those options no more. It's expensive. My daughter always asking us to put money on her lunch. Like, bro, how? Like, what is going on? She can't even, like, man. We ain't even talk about that. Those square pizzas that they eating at the school. I'm just saying, Larry, come on. Not the Yondoms 50 cent. Come on. Chopped cheese, fries, soda, $5. You know what I mean? Those were the days you could go to the local bodega, the local corner store, the local poppy store, whatever you want to call it, or whatever you called it where you was growing up. You could go there, $5, man, you good, bro. I remember we had a tab. Listen, I don't know if they do tabs now. I'm not in the city anymore, but when I was living in the city, man, we used to have a tab. We used to run that tab up, bro. Yo, put it on my tab. Like, all right, Poppy, we got you. We come back and then we pay the $25 at the end of the week when we got paid. You know what I mean? But we would run that tab up to $25.50. Easy. $25, $50 easy. But we had breakfast, lunch, dinner. We had all types of stuff that we was getting, man. Like, what? Man, it ain't like that no more. But I digress. I went on a little tangent. I went off a little bit. Excuse me. I just start thinking about some things. But it's crazy. These prices are crazy. Now you gotta go to Whole Foods. Listen, and this is what I'll say. Like, it gets to a point like, back in those days when we were growing up, I'm gonna just keep it. Larry, I know the type of guy that you are, but I'm gonna say this. It may hit home, it may not. But listen, I'm gonna say this. Back in the day, when you was in high school, you could have 2-3 girlfriends or people that you was talking to. You know what I mean? And you could catch the 400 to the Defford Mall, or you could go to the Cherry Hill Mall. You catch the Speed Line, the Echelon Mall. Walk through the neighborhoods, get to the Echelon Mall, And with $25, you could get like a bear with the rose, the white bear with the rose. That man, we was killing them. Or you could get the bear with the little balloon. Man, we was killing them back then. But you can't do that now. It's too expensive, bro. It is too expensive to you know what I mean. I ain't even gonna go there, but y'all may know what I'm talking about. It's too expensive to even. Come on, man. Listen, I went to my son's football game. I lied to you not. We were Googling and trying to book a hotel. And the prices we was getting for the hotel. It was $800 for a hotel for one night. $800. One of the other hotels was like $500. So I told my wife, I'm like, listen, we can't stay here. We got to stay out. We stayed almost 40 minutes out from the game. Bro, listen, when I tell y'all, the Red Roof Inn, Red Roof, was $250 for the night. The joint, when you pull up and the door is right there. You open, you know what I'm saying? We hearing cars pull up all night. We hearing truckers come in. All of this stuff, right? We hearing everything. You open the door. It's a Red Roof. Y'all know what I'm talking. It's a motel. $250 for the night. $250 for the night was wild to me. I'm sitting in there. It's one of those hotels, right? It's one of those hotels that when you go in, you got to spray everything down and sleep in your clothes, man. We sleeping in our clothes in here. Nobody touched nothing. You try to close the door. You try to close the bathroom door, you got to lift it up and push it. Come on. What are we doing? Man, hotel expenses are crazy, but it's a little crazy. But I understand, so I can understand why, some of the sports hotels, expenses, the fill expenses, the officials are $100. You know what I'm saying? So when you planning an event, you looking at this for basketball, I'm close to $100 an official. I'm talking about doing 6 games. You know what I'm saying? We talking about 2 to 3 officials a game. You know what I'm saying? Quick math on that, y'all. What we got? You know what I'm saying? You talking about 300, 300 times 6. Come on, y'all. Where we at? We close to $2,000. We close to $2,000 before the whistle blown. You know what I'm saying? And now I got the expense of the facility all day, the whole day. Oh, man. Yeah, I get it. Thanks for the chat. Keep them coming. The chat got them coming. Where we at? $250 for the rings. Chopped cheese. Yo, it is crazy. Let me put this up. So y'all coming. Y'all got them coming. Keep them coming. Oh man. Good morning, bro. Not to get off topic, but Justin Fields' conversation is getting quite interesting for the Eagles now. Salute. Yes. I thought I liked that. All right. Fruganista, thanks for tuning in. Trying to try getting a water ice now. Yo, it's expensive, man. It is crazy. There are no more dollar menus. It's called value meals now. What's the value? They the only one getting the value out of those meals. They are the only one getting those values. But yeah, man, it's a lot, It's a lot. It's a lot. We talk about these expenses with athletics. And more than anything, it goes back to the topic we had at first, picking the right situation for your child, putting them in the right environment. But all of this goes to it. Listen, if I'm coming out of my pocket and I'm paying, I'm putting my kid in the best environment where he's going to get the best, experience, playing or doing whatever they decide to do. No matter what sport it is or no matter, what it may be academically or athletically. So that's what it is for me, man. Yeah, man. Thank you guys for tuning in. Oh, come on, Larry. Oh man. But thank you guys for tuning in. It's early morning, 10:30 this morning. We jump off on this program 9:30 every morning. We try to do like a good condensed show that go about an hour or 45 minutes. It was a good show today. Had fun talking with you guys. Make sure you guys follow and subscribe to D2 Sports Network on YouTube. Make sure you guys follow the other socials on X, um, Instagram, and Facebook as well. Announcements for basketball. All-Star game should be coming out pretty soon. We've done our yearly wrap-up. Let me jump in here. We've done, where did it go? Sorry about that, guys. We've done our yearly wrap-up with let me see if I can pull it up. I'm trying to pull it up again. There we go. We've done our yearly wrap up. Kevin Emmons, it was 2 days ago, 2023, 2024. South Jersey Sports Zone High School Boys Awards. So player of the year, rookie of the year, all of that stuff for basketball is wrapped up in there. Make sure you guys go follow. Please go follow. Let me move this down. Can I move it down? Go follow D2 Sports Network.com. Make sure you guys lock that in to get all of your sports updates and different things. We already start doing a little bit more with that. What else? Yeah, basketball. Baseball season started with pitchers, catchers. They're going to open up with the They're opening up with full squad. So we will have some baseball updates as well on here. Just to talk, man. Have a conversation in the morning. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Salute to the chat. It was a good one today, but it's time for me to get my day started. Make sure you guys stay positive. Don't allow the negative light into your world. Elevate, stay positive, and I'll see you guys on the other side. God willing, I'll see you all tomorrow. Peace.